Do you want me to do it over again when he does that?
Yeah.
No, we're good.
All right, now.
Okay, call this meeting to order at 6:01 PM. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have to work on that.
There was that. George, were you with an echo changer there?
All right, all the directors are present with Director Johnson on Zoom. Number one, approval of the agenda. Mr. Bartz, are there any changes to the agenda?
There are no changes to the agenda tonight.
I'll move the agenda.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor of the motion to approve the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
The agenda is approved. All right, number two, public comment. Ms.
Excuse
Ward, are
me.
there?
Madam President, if I may,
Yes,
because part of this meeting is being held by Zoom, the all votes need to be a roll call under 83.
okay.
He's right.
There you go.
Okay, I'll conduct the roll. Director Johnson,
Aye.
Director Phillips,
Aye.
Director Roberts,
Aye.
Director Hoffman,
Aye.
President Kuyava.
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. All right, moving on to number two, public comment. Ms. Ward, are there any members of the public here for public comment?
There are no members of the public in person or on Zoom.
All right, so we'll go on to community reports. I don't see CERT. No one from county supervisor, fire, Mojave Water Agency, school district, or sheriff. All right, that was easy. Moving on to number three, consent items. Does anyone have any items they would like to pull?
Hearing none, I would move the item.
I'll second that.
Okay, I'll call the roll. Director Johnson,
Aye.
Director Phillips,
Aye.
Director Roberts,
Aye.
Director Hoffman,
Aye.
President Kuyava.
Aye. All right, the motion passes. Thank you. Okay, number four, matters removed consent items. There were no matters removed. Number five, presentations and appointments. We have none. So we move on to 6A, discussion and possible action regarding resolution number 2020-13, board conduct amongst directors and with staff.
Yes, thank you. At the last board meeting, a couple of the directors asked that this item be placed on the agenda for discussion tonight. And this is for the policy that was updated on October 21st, 2020. And that's for the board conduct amongst directors with staff. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to the board president. I think you were one of the ones that requested this, and go from there.
Thank you. So I printed it out and I went over it, and I just wanted to double check. This is for myself mostly. If anyone else gleaned something from it, then that's awesome. But 5102.06.1 states board members will refrain from discussing or commenting on district business on social media. So we did have a recent discussion on social media, and my friends, being of good meaning, tag me in the post. And so I choose not to interact with the public on social media because one, I don't want to, put incorrect information out there. And two, I think if they have any questions, they should always direct it to staff. So that is why I brought the item up for discussion again.
Okay. And staff does appreciate that, because that way we're not trying to answer questions on social media. And when they say, well, what about this district? If they have questions, they're welcome to call and we'll sit down and talk to them, or talk to them on the phone. Happy to do that.
Correct. And then I also did go a little deeper, and then we would have issues with the Brown Act if multiple ones of the board comment on the same post. We don't want to get into a discussion between ourselves.
That's correct.
So with that, do any other board members have comments or questions?
I have a comment. And Mr. Kennedy, you could probably clarify this. This is mostly from Charlie. He had made a comment before that he rephrased again tonight. If you meet somebody in the grocery store and they want to ask a question, and it's a general question, I feel like we can answer that general question. We are elected officials. People get asked questions all the time. If you go in depth, it might be a little bit different. I always refer for further information to go to the district. Am I incorrect in saying that, or is that okay?
You're 100% correct. Yes, there is nothing that prohibits a board member from individual contacts with any of your constituents regarding any matters, business related or not. So that's fine. It only becomes a problem when there is when a quorum of the board is brought into the discussion, either intentionally or by accident, and that's when it becomes a problem under the Brown Act. But individual contacts from between directors and your constituents are absolutely allowed and is not a problem at all.
Okay, thank you. I thought so.
Right. Any other director questions or comments?
No, we had on, I think it was Facebook issue,
Yes.
maybe way back 2012 or something like that, but that's where a lot of these ideas came from that are in here, and I think it's pretty
Correct.
self-explanatory.
That's why it's in there.
Okay. And I noticed that you did add the information about AB 992 in that item.
Yeah, that's why it was amended last year.
Okay, thank you. Charlie, did you have any comments or questions?
Well, yes, I do. Briefly, I agree wholeheartedly with the policy as it's stated, and I appreciate Mr. Kennedy's clarification of one-on-one interactions with individual constituents, or even if it was a couple, but not in a large group or something like that. But I agree with the policy as it stands. I will admit that I think before this policy, I hope before this policy was enacted, I had gone out there and made some postings and found it was a very dangerous territory because if you make a comment and try and correct somebody, before you know it, you're in a rabbit hole or a worse kind of hole with these people, and it's just never productive. The only thing that I may have done is that if somebody had a question or something, I may have posted a link to our website. And Mr. Kennedy, is that okay?
Yes, I think that's fine.
Okay, so with that clarification from my part, I agree with the policy as it stands. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and this wasn't an action item, so we don't need to vote on it, correct?
It was up to you if you needed any modifications or
We
not.
didn't make any changes, so.
So no.
All right,
nothing's
thank you.
needed.
But Madam President, I would like to make sure that we have a consensus agreement on the policy, if that would be all right.
Mr. Kennedy, do we need, are we allowed to do a consensus, or if there's no modification to the existing policy, is a consensus either necessary or is it allowed?
It's certainly allowed. Whether it's necessary is really up to the board to decide.
I think we're changing anything.
No, we're not changing.
There was a consensus to not change it.
Correct. All right, so I think we're good. Thank you. All right, we're gonna reverse gears here, and since we have a community report from fire walking in the door, we will go ahead and have you step up. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, Captain Sam Thomas, local fire station 10 here. I just want to drop in and check in with the community and let them know that we're here for them. We've had the last 30 days, about 145, 46 calls for service in the last 30 days. Just marked uptick from the previous time last year, up by about 3-5%, probably a reflection of the growth of the community, and it's probably pretty normal. I just wanted to share 2 safety messages today. First and foremost, everyone, wear your seatbelt, please. Uptick in vehicle accidents and folks, and so we're seeing injuries there. We want to avoid if possible. And my second message for the community would be that continue to use the 911 system for actual emergencies that you can lay your eyes on and know there's a problem. As our community grows, we want to be able to provide the best service and then put our paramedics and our services to the best use at the right time, at the exact right place. So that's my message to you. So that's all I have. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you for the message.
Yeah, thank you for popping in. We appreciate it. All right, so moving on to agenda item 6B, update on the proposed Civic Center and PHelan Park expansion projects. Mr. Bartz.
Yeah, George may have just a short update that this week the Joshua trees are not in danger, but they might be next week, so we're not sure.
Yeah, if I can add to that, the state has a vote in June, but I believe that vote was expedited last night, and we're waiting for word. We believe that it's no longer a concern. They're going to be removed off the endangered list.
That's
But
good
we're waiting
news.
for that documentation to come through. So
Very nice.
yeah, it is. It is. And as far as the CEQA document, that the county is kind of managing the CEQA and the responses as a recommendation for our project. We're kind of waiting for a status update on that and when we would take that to public comment and public hearing as well. So that should be coming here real soon.
Nice. Thank you very much.
So the county is the lead on that?
Yes, the county is a lead,
Okay.
which to me was a little out of the norm for the CSD, but they made the recommendation. So our environmental engineer kind of went with that.
Yeah, I've tried to get them to take on some wells, but it's difficult to get them to do it. They have a lot of stuff. So I'm surprised that's good actually that they took the lead on that.
It's good and bad.
It's slow. But
Slow,
it's good.
and that's the bad part is keeping up on.
Because once it gets through them, then it's.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Thank you very much. Okay, so moving on to 6C, update on the status of negotiations for the consolidation of Sheep Creek Mutual Water Company. Mr. Bartz.
At this point, we have nothing to update the board on.
All right.
If I could just add, there was the tech memo that was submitted a couple of weeks ago. We're waiting for comments back from the state by tomorrow and should be finalized. That's a consolidation plan. And we're still waiting for the water rights tech memo.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to go through its channels. Probably going to take about 6 months as what we were told, probably in our 3rd month. So we probably got 4 more months before we get some word on that.
All right, so agenda item 7, committee reports, Antelope Valley adjudication,
Nothing.
engineering committee.
I don't think, did we meet? Yeah, we met.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Yes, we met last Wednesday. Went through the normal wear and tear on the system and repairs and projects completed, and then a discussion on the new well and the well site. Was there anything else? And no, I don't think that was it. Just the costs that we're incurring. So
Okay.
Director
Finance.
Roberts?
yes.
Director Roberts, if I recall, I listened into the meeting, of course, as you know, and there was a comment by Ms. Ward about the possibility of a grant for, I think it was for part of the well. Is that correct?
I wasn't there, so perhaps it was Jen.
Oh, I thought I heard something about a grant from Mr. Obodelti's office.
Charlie, there's a potential for grants for a future well, but this well right now is, there's no grants available for this well.
All right, thank you for the clarification.
All right, Finance Committee.
Unfortunately, we had to reschedule that meeting, so we didn't have it yesterday, but we will have it soon.
Okay. Legislative Committee.
We meet next month.
Okay. And Park and Rec, we met and just went over the schedule. Anything else, Charlie, that you want to add?
No, I think it was a pretty standard meeting, and
Yeah.
you covered it. I think you did a good job.
All right. And Waste and Recycling? Deborah.
Oh, we don't meet until June. Sorry.
It's okay. All right. So number 8, Staff and General Managers Report, Mr. Bartz.
I have nothing to update the board on tonight.
Does anyone have any questions or comments on this?
No, I just, water sales continue to be strong, so
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
Water sales are strong. The community fill station is very strong. There's a lot of demand this time of year as people plant their apple trees. Pomegranates, okay, sorry.
All right. Okay, then moving on to number 9, reports, director's reports. Deborah?
I attended the ASB-CSD meeting and they went over the IE Works program, which has internships in water and wastewater and is really a great option for the water industry. It also is connected to the workforce program that has options and internships and all sorts of things. It's a really good option for anybody that's looking for future. That's it.
All right. Kathy?
What did we attend? We went to the ASB CSDA leadership for a couple days. That was actually, I learned more this time, I will say, than I did the first time. It was better.
The first time you were ill too. And I was
Oh,
worried
it
about
happened
you.
this time too, but
Oh, no.
I'm not going back.
All right. Mark?
Nothing.
Charlie?
Nothing to report.
All right. And then I also attended the ASB CSD dinner. Again, the gentleman from the San Bernardino County Workforce. And then I also attended the SDLA conference. And so my notes and my certificate of graduation will be attached to the next meeting.
There you go.
Great.
All right. Number 10, correspondence and information, Ms. Ward.
There's the standard items for our billing. So our Earth Day art contest, we are going to extend that out until May, just to get more submittals because we really haven't received any. Our kids baking class is this weekend and it is full. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And then we did receive a notice of vacancy for the alternate public member for LAFCO. So if you know anybody who's interested in that, there's information on how to go about applying.
And also I would like to add congratulations to the new Miss Sevi.
Oh, yes.
No longer
Mrs.
Ms. Ward.
Yes, Mrs. Debbie.
Just going to have to change my notes.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Notes in. I'm happy to retire. So do you have any information on that?
I'm waiting for that still. As soon as I get it, I'll update you.
Thank you.
So I'm sorry for you to make you repeat yourself, but did you say that the entries on the art contest were minimal?
There are 0 as of this
Oh,
moment.
no.
So we are updating the flyer to extend the
Okay.
due date.
Okay.
And opening it up to all Snowline schools and making sure that it gets distributed.
Okay,
Um,
I'll take care of that on
Yes.
my end too.
You make another Facebook post on it so we can get that
those are
out?
going, went in the bills a couple times. It's
Okay.
Okay,
just,
good, good.
I don't know if people feel like doing art right now.
Oh, weird.
All right, we will work on pushing that for sure. Thank you. All right, number 11, review of action items. Were there any prior meeting action items
There were none.
and current meeting action items?
I have recorded none other than I will get the data on the tire cleanup for you.
Okay,
Ms. Ward?
Yes.
Ms. Ward,
Yes.
with regard to action items, the only thing that I brought up at the last meeting was we had some comments regarding our new ordinance relative to AB or SB 1383. I just wanted to remind the board that I had made a request and Mr. Kennedy, we had a discussion about possibly looking at some of the concerns that I had. And I just want to make sure that I don't know if it's an action item, but I want to make sure that that's top of mind for the next few months so that we don't forget about it. That's all.
Yeah. The website FAQ section for that. Yes.
Thank you.
okay. All right, so then item number 12, set agenda for next meeting, May 4th. Do any of the board members have items you would like to add to the agenda? No? Charlie?
No, thank you.
Okay. All right, so with that, we will recess to closed session at 6:23 PM.
Okay, hang tight, Charlie.
Sorry. I know.
I'm
Bye,
not
guys.
going anywhere.
You.